Hello friends, how are you? My name is Louis Piluso. Thanks for tuning in. We're here at my recording studio and we're going to check out today the SpinTone. That is the world's first desktop rotary speaker. We're going to be talking about how it works, how to mic it up. We're also going to hear some sound demos with a synthesizer, a guitar, and also some vocals. We're also going to be checking out the unboxing and what it comes with. We, for instance, have this foot switch. So I hope you like the idea of this video. Please leave a like, subscribe, and leave me a comment with anything you have liked from this video, any questions, or just your thoughts. I'll be very interested in reading them all. So the rotary speaker is not something new. That's been since the 40s. We've had the Leslie that was invented by Donald Leslie, and it was a rotary speaker designed to work with a Hammond organ. And the idea was to try to reproduce what happened with the tubes at a church. So even though it was originally designed to work with keyboards, in the 60s and 70s, it was used quite a lot with guitars and vocals. Let me show you a couple of examples of classical songs that have a Leslie, a rotary speaker, or something that sounds similar to one.
Turn off your mind, relax and float downstream.
So this is basically a Leslie, but much smaller. It's a desktop version of the original one that was quite heavy. So this is the first time somebody has done something as small as this. There has been Leslie pedals, for instance, but it's not the same. This has a real rotary speaker. The way this one works in particular, it has a 5-inch woofer pointing upwards, and this woofer doesn't move. Above it, you have like a semicircle that moves at different speeds, that you can choose the speed you want down here, and that will generate a Doppler effect. So that means that you will only have the sound when it's open like this, and then it starts turning, and then you have like a muted sound, and then it opens again. Then it has a tweeter up here or a horn, and that one moves as well. And you can choose with a volume pot for the tweeter, you can choose how much you want to listen to it. If you have it all the way down, you are going to be only listening to the woofer, and that will give you the low and mids. And if you bring it back in, you'll have both speakers working at the same time. So let's check out quickly what came with the box. It's a 3D printed enclosure that includes a motor that you can change the speed of the speaker and the volume of the amp. Behind it you have the connections. It comes with two choices of switches. One has lights and the other one is more simple. They are both very cool and very good looking. Then it comes with a sticker, its own power supply. It also includes some picks, which is great. We always need more picks at the studio, so I love that detail. And then it comes with an owner's manual, where you can learn how to use this product. So let's check out the different parameters and controls we've got on the SpinTone. So we have an input. This is a line input. This means that you can't plug in your guitar straight into it. You need a preamp, or like I've got here, a Tonex pedal with an amp simulation, and that gives it enough volume to go into the SpinTone. Then we got on the rear the volume pot for the horn. There's a tweeter speaker we have up here. Then we got a foot switch input. Then behind it has its power supply input that is 12 volts, and something that's really cool is that it has a 9-volt through. This means that we can power a guitar pedal of 9 volts, or we can power, for instance, this foot switch so the lights go on. This is something that's really cool. Then we have two individual speed controls for the slow speed that we can choose here, slow, or we have the fast speed, and we can have them at different settings. And then with this foot switch, we can change from one to the other. Same with this one. If we don't have a foot switch, we can switch it manually up here, like right here in the front. We have the on and off button and the amp volume, how loud this is going to sound. Now, this is the first version of this. So when one wants to record or mic it up for a live scenario, something we have to know is that it doesn't have included line outputs, because it would need some kind of piezo installed into it or something like that. So what we have to do is mic it up. Here I'm using the AEA ribbon microphone, the R88, the R88. It's a stereo ribbon microphone that I have it configured in a Bloom lane setup. So that means that if I'm pointing the AEA logo in front of my equipment, I'll be getting a stereo signal. This kind of setup, the Bloom line, is very similar. It's almost omnidirectional because it's like a cross, but it's also taking sound from the rear. That means that right here I have the piano and the sound is going in and it's taking a little bit of the piano into the microphone. And I have that plugged into the AEA preamps, that they are very clean preamps. Since this is a small desktop Leslie and it has a small speaker, I decided to use a ribbon microphone, because usually I like ribbon microphones with a Leslie because they can be a bit nasally, a bit resonant, and sometimes it can have lots of high frequencies. So one usually has to tame them. So a ribbon microphone will do that for you without having to use any EQ. And it's the same thing if I have the microphone here, 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 or there. So we have a Rotary speaker and this is open all the way through. We could also choose to mic it up with two separate microphones, one on each side. That also works very well. You will have a very spread image. This way here, that both capsules of the microphone are closer to each other, will have a smaller stereo effect. I actually really dig how this sounds. So let's have a little listen. Let's play some synths, let's play some guitar, and let's pass some vocals through this. Our first sound demo is going to be with a synthesizer. I've got here the Arturia MiniFreak. It's a great synth, can do lots and lots of different things, and also is very intuitive to use. So what I have done here is prepared a sequencer that I have just recorded while I was doing a little bit of sound test, and it's basically like a kind of arpeggio, keeping the chord on my left hand and adding single notes. I have also automated the reverb to open up on certain steps, and also for the cutoff from the filter to also vary during the sequence. I'm going to just hit play and I'm going to start moving the different parameters. So let's start with the break on. That means that the Rotary speaker is not going to be turning. Let's add slow. Let's go to fast. so I can make it sound much richer, and it's just a small device. Let's talk about the guitar setup. I'm using the Fender Telecaster Player 2 with humbuckers, great guitar. Then I'm going straight into the Tone X1 pedal. I'm using a Fender Bassman kind of amp, so I can feed more level into the SpinTone. I'm recording it with the R88 as the synth before. It's a stereo ribbon microphone. And then I'm using two 84s by Guerrilla Audio. They are very nice condenser microphones based on the famous 84s. They are a small diaphragm condenser, but they sound actually quite dark, and they sound more as a dynamic microphone or a ribbon mic than a shiny condenser. So I think it will be ideal for this scenario. So we're going to hear how with the stereo ribbon microphone it's going to sound more narrow, the stereo image, and with the 84s, because they are more spread out, will have a very spread stereo image. And also they come with this little foam, like a pop filter, which is going to actually help a lot to reduce the noise from the Leslie. So let's have a little listen first. Like for instance, if I go straight in without turning on the rotary speaker. Picture yourself in a boat by a river with tangerine trees and marmalade skies. Somebody calls you, you answer quite slowly. A girl with kaleidoscope eyes. Still up in the flowers of yellow and green, towering over your head. Look for the girl with the sun in her eyes, and she's gone. In my eyes, indisposed, in disguise, no one knows. Hides the face, lies the snake, and the sun in my disgrace. Boiling heat, summer stench, neath the blood the sky looks dead. Call my name through the cream, and I'll hear you scream again. Black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Black hole sun, Black ocean! So, final thoughts. This device is very pleasurable to play with because you can play at low volumes, you can have this wonderful ambient effect that sounds amazing. Like we heard, it records really well as well. But since it's a desktop version, the woofer is quite small. So this means that you have to really take care of the low end. Like put into it so much low end because it will start distorting the digital amplifier that it's got. Once you go from the middle up, you'll start getting some distortions on the fourth string. You might get something making this vibrate. Let's remember this is the first version of the SpinTone. I would really like to see some microphones built into this so we can have an option of having a line output. That would be amazing. Then the speaker, since it's quite small, it has a big peak at around 3K. So I would use a different kind of speaker or bigger and a louder amplifier. That's made for a more pro version, but this is fantastic. It's really fun to play with. I really recommend you check it out whenever you get the chance. If you want to carry on watching videos from me, I really appreciate that. I have a video where I show you how to record this bad boy, how to record a real amp, and how to use 3 different microphones and know how to choose which microphone you want to use. I'll leave that on the screen. Don't forget to subscribe. It's been a pleasure. My name is Louis Peluso. I'll see you in the next video.